Hello everyone, how you doing today? My name is Jacob and this is my YouTube channel. Guys, one thing that has always bothered me about the Star Wars prequels, as much as I love them, they had a huge tendency of introducing really awesome characters but then killing them off in that exact same movie. So, for example, Darth Maul was introduced in Phantom of the Menace and then killed off in that exact same movie. And in the next movie, Jango Fett was introduced in that movie but then killed by Mace Windu later on in that movie. And finally, General Grievous was introduced in Revenge of the Sith and then killed off in Revenge of the Sith by Obi-Wan Kenobi. But it turns out there was a lot more to this cybernetic droid general that the movies and the TV shows told us. So today, we're going to be talking about General Grievous's full backstory. So disclaimer, before we get started, all of the information I'm about to tell you is more so considered legends by Disney standards. So it's not really considered canon by Disney, but if we're gonna talk, I consider it canon in terms of the entire Star Wars universe, because it's all the Star Wars community has in the terms of Grievous's backstory. So although Disney does not consider it canon, I personally believe it is the canon primary source of Grievous's backstory for the entire Star Wars lore and community. So anyway, Grievous was born under the name of Kaiman Jai Shilal, which I know, try saying that 10 times fast. But anyway, Kaiman was born around the time during the struggle and the war between the Huk and the Kalish, which is his type on the planet of Kali. Basically, the Huk are these technologically advanced bug creatures that invaded the Kali planet, and they're trying to turn all the Kalish into their slaves. The Kalish fought back with their warriors Kaiman and Ronduro Ronduro, I don't really know the last names, crazy names here, but basically Ronduro was Grievous's implied girlfriend at the time, and they were the two greatest warriors that were fought against the Huk until Ronduro was killed by Huk. This caused Grievous to kind of go on a mad spree, renaming his name to something more Dark Grievous, which is how he got the name Grievous. And he harnessed his anger and his pain for the Huk, and he used that as power against the Huk community to kind of force them out of the planet, which he did successfully. So anyway, after Grievous forced the Huk out of his planet, he didn't think this was enough, so instead he went all the way to their kind of community of planets and destroyed every single colony that they had. He knew he was getting close to the homeworld, but he didn't know where it was. However, the Huk knew he was getting extremely close, so they panicked. They went to their friends, which were the Trade Federation, which you've obviously heard of. The Trade Federation had huge rank within the Galactic Senate. So the Trade Federation was able to literally persuade the entire Galactic Republic that the Huk had started the Kalish had started the Huk and Kalish war, and it was their fault that Grievous was obviously attacking all of their communities. And obviously with someone that, like Chancellor Palpatine, who was literally the Sith Lord at the time, hearing about all this, and the Trade Federation made the claims, it wasn't very hard for him to approve all these things because, well, he was the Sith. He worked with the Trade Federation. They were his friends. He wasn't going to deny them. The Galactic Republic sent a huge army of Jedi to Kali, where the Jedi, unwillingly, obviously they didn't know that the Kalish were not bad, they killed all of the Kalish, and the ones that survived were left to starve. Devastated from his loss at Kali, Grievous goes into exile, and he joins the Intergalactic Banking Clan. Super fun. Anyway, not after he joins the clan, he learns that the Huk have come back to Kali and completely invaded the planet and started to kill off more people, and he's determined for vengeance. So he and a group of people set to go back. Meanwhile, all of this is happening. Darth Sidious has not taken ignorance in the ever-growing power of this Kalish warrior, whose actions are literally filled on the things that give Sith their power: pain, suffering, anger, and fear. He noticed this, and he's determined to get Grievous on his side. So he tells his apprentice, Count Dooku, to rig a bomb in the ship of this Kalish warrior. Back to Grievous. Grievous heads back to his home planet, but he cannot make it because he is in the ship, and obviously Dooku has already rigged it with the bomb, and the ship detonates. killing everyone on the ship except Grievous, and this ship crashed into a body of water, leaving Grievous not dead, but extremely injured. Dooku finds the body of Grievous and is able to persuade him that the Jedi planned this entire attack on his ship, which fuels his hate and rage towards the Jedi even more. Dooku takes Grievous's remains and puts him in a bacta tank. From this bacta tank, Grievous is able to meet Sand Hill. You might remember this Sand Hill. He was in Attack of the Clones. He had this like long pale face that kind of was forgettable. He looks like Darth Plagueis. There should be a picture of him on screen right now. Hill told Grievous of the Separatists' plans to turn him into this cybernetic killing machine, and at first Grievous really wasn't on board, so Hill decided to tell him that he'd be able to kill all the Jedi that he's hated, and he'd lead the grandest droid army that the universe has ever seen. Still, this didn't really appeal to Grievous. He just wanted to go home with the Kalish and die like his species were meant to die. And Hill made a deal that Grievous could not deny. Hill said that the Separatist army, along with the Trade Federation, would agree to not only pay off the debt that the Kalish owned to other systems, but he would help the Kalish fight against the Huk in the Huk and Kali War. This was a deal, like I said, Grievous could not accept, so he took it. And this is really where the transformation begins into the Grievous that we see him in the films and TV show. So during the transformation, Count Dooku had Jedi Master Sifo Dyas' blood be implanted into Grievous. Jedi Master Sifo Dyas, if that name sounds familiar, he is the Jedi that ordered the clone army production, and I believe he turned against the Jedi Code and the Jedi Order. This is a huge thing with Sifo Dyas that they kind of explain in the Clone Wars TV series. Watch it if you're interested. But he gives them the blood, and this, believe it or not, it doesn't really unlock any Force abilities within General Grievous. It more so just keeps him alive. Think of it as Darth Vader's breathing apparatus to Darth Vader. They're both things that the person needs in order to survive, but it doesn't really benefit them in any way. In addition to the blood, Dooku also had Grievous's mind manipulated with to fuel and increase the amount of hate that Grievous had toward the Jedi Order, that way not to risk any risk of betraying the Separatist army. He wasn't really a droid, he was still an alien. However, by the time the entire production was complete, he really did look like a droid. The only really parts that remained of him were his vital organs, and obviously his brain that we see in, and his eyes that we see in Revenge of the Sith. The armor was made that way. He had the reflexes and speed of a Jedi, so he could kill them like he was ordered to. He was also extremely strong and able to withstand massive attacks. Grievous never lost his hate over the Jedi Order, and over the years, as he fought them, he collected their lightsabers as trophies to remind him how he had finally gotten revenge over the religion that had starved and slaughtered his people. For the entire length of the Clone Wars, Grievous fought alongside the Separatists, killing Jedi, killing clones, and finally becoming the cybernetic monster and killing machine that we saw him as in the films and TV shows. And guys, there you have it. This is the full backstory of General Grievous. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, because I love researching the hidden backgrounds and meanings of all these Star Wars characters and artifacts that the movies and the TV shows haven't given us ourselves. And General Grievous was a huge part of my life when I was a kid. He was really the key thing that got me into the Clone Wars remake TV series that they made after Episode 3, and that is returning next year for Disney+. I'm so excited for that. And he was really my favorite villain as a kid. I just loved how he looked. He really was one of the main things that got me into the Star Wars franchise as a whole. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another one of these videos. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.